one. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our stream tonight. We got something special in store. We're not doing D&D. We're playing chess tonight. No, I'm just
It
kidding.
was checkers.
It was checkers. I got mixed up. But yes, we're back, and we're gonna be playing some more Candlekeep adventures into the books. I am Nick, and I play Drumstij. I am the reason why we're here.
The reason why we're late.
That too. Because he's a bitch.
And wants to play checkers.
Stop
Yeah.
it, guys. You're making me feel really bad about myself, but that's okay, because that's normal. I am a Minotaur fighter. I am a failure, but I'm also a guy with a big heart.
Aww, that
big
doesn't make up for being a failure.
Shut the fuck up. I'm a big gay cow, okay? Leave me alone.
Is
So-
Drumstij gay?
More like bi, but whatever.
Except when Yagra's around.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I was
Yagra.
gonna
Oh
say.
god, Yagra Bay. Hey, we're a little bit different on the Kinsey scale here, but that's just me. I'm gonna move it over to let's go with Rozzy, cause you're not normally here.
Okay. I'm Vale Lorval, a human wizard, and I'm very, very sneaky. And I've got a buzzy bee, and that's about it.
Everything else is classified.
Yes. Oliver.
I play Warren Woodbrook, human inquisitive rogue, and group field trip leader still while we're here in Candlekeep. Also coming from a different location today with a slightly uncomfortable chair and more backlight. So we'll just have to deal with that. That's me. Hopefully I don't disconnect. I've only got 2 bars.
Oh
If
shit.
so, I should be able to
Oh,
reconnect. It shouldn't. I should only drop out for a moment. So let's cross our fingers. Anyways, I will pass it on to Sky.
Hi, I'm Sky. I play Listara, your wood elf sorceress. Currently, I'm keeping my eye on Viel. Not too happy. Keeping an eye on that bee and stuff. But other than that, I'm just here for the ride. Maybe learn some stuff about books, but that's about it.
What's a book?
I don't know. I've never seen one. Shh. Let's pass it off to Jess.
Oh, okay. I thought I was muted for a split second. Hi, I'm Jess. I play Blaze, our Celestial Pact Tabaxi Warlock. That felt really weird. I said that very strangely, and I apologize. I don't fucking know. I'm just here to read some books, man. Read them books. I'm gonna pass it off to Jen, who just appeared out of the mist.
Kevin, you okay?
Who's muted?
I mean,
What?
Who's actually muted? What?
Jen has no camera in Discord, but is appearing on Twitch.
She has a camera.
She has a camera.
I see her on Discord.
Kevin, you're drunk.
Kevin, are you okay?
Like, I'm not seeing her video on Discord.
That's so
Huh.
weird because you
There.
see her.
Oh,
Yeah, I see her fine. Does everybody else see her?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I can see.
Oh.
You
me.
can give her a complex, dude.
I already have one.
And how do I unput that?
It's because you're not worthy, Kevin.
It's okay. I'm ugly. You don't want to see my face anyway.
Well, I clicked on your camera, and now that's the only one I see.
Oh.
Kevin fucked up.
We're
How
doing
do I undo
good.
that?
Don't.
Double click, I don't know.
Okay. Well.
Double clicking worked. Thank you.
I'm Jen. I play Ophelia the cleric. I'm here to read some books and heal people's wounds. Who didn't go yet?
Kevin.
Your last one.
Me.
I guess Kevin. Yeah.
God.
I am Kevin. I DM this game. I'm not in charge. I'm definitely not in control. We just stumble along in a direction that goes forward. Because, well, when you're moving, that's the only direction you go.
Is it?
Oh, well, reverse is also an option. So, last session you started doing research in Candlekeep. You found out a whole bunch of things. Some of them may or may not have been instantly relevant. We discovered some lore on Malar, the Beast Lord. We talked about some of the construction methods used to build Candlekeep. A handful of other things on top of that. The end of the session, Warren received an invitation to a mysterious meeting in one of the interview rooms. The interview room is worded in a way that makes it difficult, if not impossible, to tell a lie in the room. When he arrived, seated at one of a desk was none other than Manshun, one of the founding members of the Zentarum, and all-around bad guy. So when Manshun introduces himself, he says that he would like to talk specifically to Warren because he's got a good grasp of how things run in Waterdeep. You've had experiences with the Zentarum, local to Waterdeep. Have you formed an opinion about the Zentarum?
Not really a big fan, I have to admit. During the shall we say disputes between you, your faction, and the Xanathar, a lot of unnecessary violence and killing in the streets. So, not really a big fan of the way you operated. No, if you're asking me.
That was not me exactly. You may not be aware of this. It's not exactly common knowledge, but I will give it to you freely. I was cloned many times over. And some of those clones are still active in the world and doing things I do not like. Their plans interfere with my plans. The Manchun clone in Waterdeep is particularly obnoxious.
I suppose we can agree on that. Sure.
So that Manchun clone, you have a problem with him.
How much different could you be being a clone?
That we have similar goals, but have had different experiences over the last few decades. I believe that particular clone has been driven insane. He's acting irrationally. I'm speaking to you now because I think we can come to an agreement of sorts.
Really?
Well, I'm going to offer you something simple. If you can fulfill my request, I will leave my hands off the city of Waterdeep.
Well, first off, what specifically do you mean by that? Do you mean that the Zentarum are going to entirely pull out of Waterdeep? I find that hard to believe.
I will not direct any action specifically towards Waterdeep. Some of our operations work in and around there, but not me exactly. If you're familiar with the Zentarum, you know that we are not entirely unified. And I have no control over what the other leading members do. But I will leave my hands and my direct agents out of Waterdeep. The mercenary forces and security programs will continue, but they're working in a very quiet, legal manner right now.
Right now.
You had no small part in that.
Well,
Your dealings with Yagra Stonefist have led her to prominence in the city.
yes. Well,
Oh.
my companion has sort of a thing for her. It's his fault, really. I mean, I'm still not a fan of the Zentarum, but I suppose out of all the ones that could have ended up in positions of power there, I suppose we've killed worse.
It's interesting you speak of killing, because that is what I would request.
Of course.
I would like you to eliminate the Manchun clone currently residing in Waterdeep.
Well,
That would be good for the city of Waterdeep. It would be good for your reputation.
you're right about that. That's not something I would be opposed to seeing happen, having him removed. But I'm not necessarily willing to do it on your behalf.
Well, the benefits to you are obvious. The benefit to me is simply one of my rivals is eliminated. Anything you find in his possession is yours to keep. I don't know the exact extent of his arsenal, but the spell books alone should be worth a small fortune.
Probably get us in trouble with what's his face again? That guy who does not like us constantly coming into a store with dangerous books, but you know.
If you find them too dangerous, take them to the city officials. They're yours
So,
to do with as you choose.
I assume you brought me in here for this meeting and made the suggestion because you have information or support that you are willing to render in order to help us complete this task.
I know where he keeps his lair. He resides in the Colette Towers in the south ward of Waterdeep.
I actually don't have my notes up here with me, so let me start something to write some notes.
Yeah, that would be a new location for you.
Yeah. I'm just saying I can't add them to my list in normal notes because those aren't up here.
The tower is warded by a force field. I do not know what lies beyond those wards.
Well, he's a clone of yours. You've had several decades apart, but certainly there must be certain basic similarities between you still.
I would expect him to respond with lethal force.
Well, yes.
He most certainly has allies he has brought to his cause.
See, okay, I'm sorry. It was the Colette Towers.
Correct.
Is that something Warren? Is the name even familiar to Warren at all, or is?
Give me a skill check of your choosing. Whatever you think would be most appropriate.
History check. It's
Sure.
something to do with inside the city, so I assume. It's 21. 21
Okay.
now.
Yeah, Colette Towers is something you've heard of. They've been one of the more mysterious locations in the South Ward. It is two Blackstone towers side by side. They're believed to be abandoned. some of the windows are lit with light, but the lights never really move or change. The general assumption is that the wizards, it was a pair of brothers, who resided there have either died or gone missing sometime 20 to 30 years ago.
Okay. If it's guarded by a force field, how would you expect us to be getting in?
You are resourceful. You have access to wizards and clerics in your close association who should be able to penetrate that barrier. I have not inspected it closely myself. I have... And you can tell that he's choosing his words very carefully to avoid the telling a lie here. The powers that be in Waterdeep are no small force to be reckoned with. Between the Blackstaff and... Why am I drawing a blank on the Open Lord's name right now? Alistair? Yeah.
The mama.
That's a horrible thing that I didn't put in my notes. Vajra is the Blackstaff. She's one of the more prominent wizards. And Laryl Silverhand.
Oh, yeah. I should have known that too. I've met with her
yes.
several times.
I don't want to tangle with them needlessly. I also don't want to be blamed for any of the foolishness that the Manchun clone creates.
So, why come to us instead of simply leaking this location to the Blackstaff?
The Blackstaff has trust issues where I'm concerned.
Well, you are somewhat of a difficult person to trust. I think you will agree with that.
That's why I'm not trying to coerce you. If you choose not to act on this, I will eventually find another agent capable of doing it. But, and this should be considered a compliment, you are my first choice.
Oh, well, thank you so much. The Zentarum that are in command in Waterdeep right now, Yagra and her her people, how would they feel about this?
I'm not entirely certain they're aware of Manchun clone in Waterdeep. They're not taking orders from him. I believe his interests are directed more towards regaining control of Skullport from the Xanathar Guild.
I see.
No love lost there. Should the Xanathar be destroyed, I would not be upset in any way.
No, neither would I. But
if the clone takes over Skullport, that would be troublesome. That would give him
a little bit difficult to get to, yes.
Well, your newest acquaintance, she knows the way there.
Why doesn't that surprise me even a little bit?
That information is also a gift.
Thank you. Well, is there anything else you have to say?
I'll answer questions as best I can. I want you to succeed.
Yes, I can see how you would like the assassination of a rival. That I don't doubt that. I'm trying to think of any other questions I would have besides the ones I've already asked.
should you choose not to do this, there'll be no repercussion. That's the best I can offer in the interest of trust.
Very well. I don't know how soon we'll be returning to Waterdeep. We obviously have our business that we are taking care of here. That hopefully.
Oh.
And there he goes.
Oh.
That was dramatic.
Bye. Well, we're not leaving anytime soon, but and then cuts
Well.
out.
Okay.
Bye.
Oh, fug.
Hello again.
Oh, fug.
Let me turn the camera on. There we go.
Don't do
Alright.
that because you might lose connection again.
Where was I? Did you get any of what I was saying? Or
Probably not. You cut off like halfway through a sentence.
all right, I said very well. We have our business that we have come here to Candlekeep to take care of. Obviously, we don't know how long that will take to resolve. That's kind of why we came here on an information gathering trip. Probably doesn't concern you though. I would hope. When we return to Waterdeep, I'll look into this issue of Manchun.
Should you succeed, I will leave Vajra as the highest ranking member of the Zentarum in Waterdeep. I believe you can trust her.
Oh my god, yes, Bay.
Who?
Oh my god.
Oh, not Vajra.
Yagra?
Yagra.
Vajra?
I thought you meant, but I was like.
I mean, Vajra's already part of the ruling structure.
I thought you said Yagra as Yajra, and I'm like, oh, that must be a fancy way of saying it. Like,
That sounds relatively agreeable to me. I guess we'll see what we can do.
Then I will accept that as exactly what it is. With that, he stands, gives a small, polite bow, and leaves the room.
Okay. Well, that was awkward. Is there anyone else in the room here at all, or was it?
No.
just us?
It's been the two of you the entire time. No one else.
what? Why does it seem like you're asking a question like you're ghost hunting? Is there anyone else in the room with me?
No, you had snuck off cleanly from the rest of the group, so they don't know you're really here.
Right.
How to make sure Lestar didn't suddenly follow.
Okay. I'll stand up, sort of awkwardly, like dust off the chair and reposition it, and then I'll walk back out the way I came.
All right. Did anyone else have nighttime activities they wanted to engage in?
I wanted to kind of maybe hang out with Blaze, just because I want to get their
Okay.
opinion on shit that they've read.
Sure, go ahead, have that conversation.
Oh, great.
So I read some interesting things, but I want to hear what you had to find or what you found, because I don't think I was there when you chose your books. Or I was, but I don't remember.
No, we were all there, right?
Oh, that's right, we were there. I'm just
You were
stupid.
all in the same place, but you weren't necessarily looking at the same books at the same time.
Yeah.
You know, Vielle mentioned that she was off in a corner reading privately.
I spent 5 hours reading these few books, and I might do some more before bed, but I just wanted to know, if you found anything interesting.
Not too much. I did some looking into liches, but don't know that I found what I was. I got information, but I don't know that it's what I was hoping / looking for. But it's
Ooh,
information, I guess.
what's a lich again?
Don't make me explain
Drumstick
what
is
a
a
lich is,
simple
please.
person.
I would like to hear you explain what a lich is.
No! Because what are words? Don't expect me to put words into words. Like, goddamn.
That's fair.
And if you think Blaze would be able to explain what a lich is, you're wrong. She knows, but she ain't gonna be able to. She's gonna be like,
Okay,
read a book.
That's relatable.
What were
So,
you researching?
shape-shifting.
What kinds of shapeshifting?
So I wanted to originally see, what they were for the basics of shape-shifting. And I was like,
Mhm.
okay, well, I found a book that was on something that had to do with, I think I already told you, but like, werebears and were creatures and how that shape-shifting can occur.
I know little bits about that, mostly about the connections with Saloon and
Yeah, and I guess there's
that type of
actually,
shapeshifting, but
for some reason, it's connected to one of the gods that my people follows, or pretty much the only god that my people follow, and I'm like, no, I'm good. So I said no thanks to that. I'm not going back on that bullshit.
yeah, no.
So it looks like I wanted to kind of look more into the more natural shape shifting, like turning into a bird or like what the druids do. And I know, oh god, hi kitty.
Can
Hi,
only see the ass.
but like I know that's something that I want to try and maybe do, cause hey, we
You
have
might be able to talk more to Rodrigo about that.
Oh, you're right. Wait,
I don't know
Rodrigo.
anything about druidic shifting,
That's
but
true, cause Rodrigo.
Rodrigo does.
Oh my god, you're so right. Holy shit.
Cameo when?
Cameo. Oh my god, yes. I'd totally be up for it. Oh, that's a great idea. Okay, well,
If you would like to call Rachel back in for a cameo, we can arrange that.
hell yes. I want to learn shape shifting, and I totally forgot Rodrigo could do that. That's amazing.
Huh?
Oh my god. Thank you for that, but I'm gonna keep reading on this too because I want to see,
Yeah.
like, I think I might want to go down this path. I love my muscles. Oh, yeah.
I don't know how one becomes a druid, but hold on to your dreams.
I think you just eat, like, at least 10 leaves and then it becomes your druid, I think. I think that's how it works.
If you're
That's how it
Rodrigo,
works.
is it your alcohol that makes you a druid? Is being a drunk make you a druid?
Sometimes.
Yeah. It might be a crutch. So what's my crutch? My muscles. My muscles make me a druid. I will do it.
Okay. So future conversation with Rodrigo.
Yes.
You guys had set up an interview with Gorlux the Tiny. Gruxlug the Tiny. He was the expert on devils and infernal knowledge. Who wanted to go along with that? Did you all want to go, or
I think
separate?
I do because this kind of concerns me, so.
Yeah.
What was he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to go.
Gorlux the Tight, I think it was, so we'll.
Gorlux the Tiny.
Oh.
All
I
right.
will also go.
When morning rolls around and the appointed hour for your interview, you're escorted to one of the interview rooms that Warren had just discovered. When the acolytes of the Avowed escort you there, Gorlux is a excessively short half-orc. He barely tops out at 5 feet.
Shut up, his mom was a halfling.
I'm not judging. No one ever really talks about the other half of a half-orc. And he's kind of a nervous, twitchy guy. He's constantly looking around over shoulders and things like that. You've requested an interview.
We have. We have a situation that we are looking for expert advice on dealing with.
I'm in trouble.
How so? What kind of trouble?
The
Like,
bad kind.
His soul is in mortal danger.
My soul is probably already gone.
No, if your soul was gone, you would not be here.
In the theoretical sense.
What is the state of your problem?
Should I just whip my shirt off and be like, check it out?
Might be helpful, and it's something that Drumstij's very good at doing.
Cool, I'm gonna do it, but in doing so, it might tear the shirt, and it's gonna be like, huh! It's gonna show the thing in the back.
We brought extras.
Yeah, we bought 30.
So
Yeah.
you take the shirt off and show him the mark?
Yeah, but I'm gonna do it
Okay.
dramatically.
Okay. When you do that, he like literally jumps up out of his chair and rushes over to you and starts like inspecting it with hands. Like hands on your back, feeling the edges of the mark. Oh my, this is I mean terrible for you, but great for me.
Buddy, we're in a room full of people, maybe we should take this somewhere else if we're gonna be like this.
Oh.
Oh no,
I
I apologize. My excitement. I should not have done that. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Well, while you're back there, you can scratch my back, because it's really itchy, but like, if you...
Don't make this any weirder than it is.
Weird, yeah.
So, you pledged your soul to Asmodeus?
Yeah. Accidentally.
And you have regrets.
Absolutely.
I see. Well,
Because I did it while I was dead.
while you were dead.
Yeah, it lasted a couple
He
days.
died. It's a long ass story.
Mr. Drumstij,
Don't call me that.
could you give me the details on this?
So
He's like pulls out a notebook and like is prepared to write.
I don't remember all of the details, but I remember we were up against a beholder. I got fucking blasted into like a pile of dust.
It's called disintegration.
Thank
I
you.
don't recommend it.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't either. First-hand experience, it's awful. Then I don't remember what happened because it's bits and pieces, but somewhere along the lines, it was either I get turned into a brick in a wall, I guess, of suffering, maybe, from what my dreams have told me, or I become a fighter, and I'm like, well, I am a fighter already, and I pledged my soul to Asmodeus.
I see. So, you were on the fugue plane when this happened.
Is that where I was? Oh, okay, yeah, sure.
That's the expanse of wasteland outside the city of the dead.
Oh,
it's where
90%
souls
of Nevada.
arrive.
Just kidding.
It's where souls arrive immediately after death.
Oh, yeah. I don't want to go back.
Well, death is more or less inevitable for most.
Right, but I don't want to go back there right now because I know what that's going to mean for me. So,
Well, there may be hope for you if you did not reach the city of the dead.
yeah, I was not in there as far as I know.
Um, you'll need to. You can buy your soul back. You have not fulfilled your part of the agreement at this point. You're still here. Your soul is in escrow.
But do I wait? I've been so admission time. I've been feeling really weak recently. Like I know I'm still really strong, muscles, flexes, but like for some reason I've just been feeling a lot weaker, and I think it
Well,
has to
you're
do something with when I was down there. But if I get my soul back and reclaim, well, I mean I have it now, but if I get that agreement kind of canceled, I guess, will I be back to my normal self?
probably. Currently, your soul exists being stretched between you and the nine hells.
Oh, that's too much of a stretch. I don't like that.
Now, souls are resilient things.
It'll
Yep.
snap back. Don't worry.
It'll get love handles. I don't want that.
Um, do you know? You probably don't know the name of the devil you made the agreement with.
Uh, there was a name. I have a terrible memory. Um, but it was.
If he told you a name, it was almost certainly not his true name.
All I remember is that it was related to one of the ones that my people follow. Which I don't follow because I
Nick,
don't
that
like
devil
that.
did not give you his name at all.
No, it didn't. Oh wait, no, it didn't.
Okay.
You're right. Sorry. Sorry. No, I'm thinking of Asmodeus. Sorry,
Yeah.
because I'm a bitch.
Um, if you can learn that devil's name, you can summon him.
Oh, that sounds pleasant.
It does require blood, but summoning a devil in a protected circle is usually safe. And he kind of like scratches a scar over on the side of his neck when he says that. Um, it's a relatively simple process. You create a circle, a magic circle. It's literally the name of the spell, magic circle. And you summon the devil into the circle that they cannot leave for approximately 1 hour. And as long as you dismiss the devil before the circle falls, you can have a conversation with him. I do it all the time. It's how I perform most of my research. I summon devils and I talk to them.
That sounds scary.
How do they usually feel about that?
They don't like it. It's like I'm interrupting them from their lives.
No shit.
You're basically a telemarketer for devils.
You make it sound dirty when you say it like that.
Just saying.
One of your associates here should be capable of that.
I know of two.
And I'm
just staring right at Viel, like, yeah, probably.
Yeah. And I'm just double checking to make sure I did give her the proper spells. No, I'll add them later.
Seems like something she'd have done.
Mm-hmm. Now, the same process works for celestials too.
Okay, well, not sure we need one of those yet.
He looks a little confused at that exact moment, and then turns towards Blaze. But she is. You are celestial.
You're a star
So
person?
we could summon her into a protective circle.
Not here. I assume this is your native plane?
Yes?
Yeah, you
I
could
think?
not.
I'm pretty sure. If it's not, it's news to me.
I noticed it as soon as you walked in that you were connected to the upper planes.
Yeah.
You may have had problems crossing a magic circle in the past. They would have blocked you.
That explains. Yeah. Okay. That explains things.
Okay. So now we know how to put Blaze in timeout if she ever.
If you're gonna do it, at least do it in like sunny corner so I can nap.
Your nature is a little unusual to me. And he kind of like steps up and he's like, "May I?"
Sure.
He casts a type of detection spell. It's very similar to detect magic, and puts on his glasses and gets uncomfortably close to you, like 2 inches away, staring at you. I believe you are infused with this power. It may not have been your birth nature.
No. I'm a warlock.
This goes beyond that.
Oh.
Oh? Yeah, my expertise is in devils in the lower planes. I don't have any experience with whatever this is you are.
Mm-hmm.
But it's fascinating.
Do you know anybody who might be? Or somebody who might be able to point me in a direction, at least?
Your patron?
Yeah, that would be a good place to start. Yeah, that's probably a good place to start.
I don't know how you would commune with your patron. It's not always easy. Not all warlock pack. No two warlock packs are identical.
Mm-hmm.
I rarely speak to mine.
I see. I don't normally either. Normally, never mind. Just forget about it.
I mean, I would enjoy the opportunity to study you in the future, with your consent.
I will get back to you on that.
Understood. I do not wish to inconvenience you.
Not sure how I feel about being studied. It's strange.
Fascinating.
Well, be that as it may, Blaze will be here for a while, and I'm sure you guys.
Yeah,
can
we're
set
gonna
up
be here for a little bit.
There is still the matter of Drumstick's little devil problem. So
Yes.
we need a name in order to summon this particular demon.
Correct.
And
Devils are very protective of their name. They don't like being summoned.
Yeah, they don't like to get on the call lists.
Devils are fascinating creatures. They're beings of law. They have strict rules that they follow. And they are absolutely incapable of breaking any one of these rules. What they've done is they've hidden as much of these rules from outsiders as possible. They see them as weakness.
Right. Well, it certainly sounds like it.
They can be exploited. Now, if you're seeking the specific devil's name, you could return to the location you saw him and hope to find him there in the same place. If he is one of the devils who roams the fugue plane, he probably has a territory there.
That sounds difficult to find.
Oh no, it's very easy. You just die.
Broomstick, you know how to solve your problem.
I don't want to die
That-
again.
That, upon Mr. Drumstick's death, his soul would not go to the fugue plane under these conditions. He would be bound to Asmodeus.
Okay, well, who else is going to volunteer?
Not me.
Hands up.
If
Yo,
if that is a unacceptable option, and for obvious reasons, I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
There is another method you can use. It would be a different type of difficult.
Okay.
There is a location that houses all records of all contracts.
Right. I think we've heard of this.
The devils are connected to both law and primal evil. The beings that are connected to pure law hold a house of records in the city of doors, Sigil, the greatest city in the multiverse. If you can access the records there, you may be able to find the devil's name.
Okay.
Getting to Sigil would be no small task. It requires a gate key. The city is more or less at the access point of the great wheel of the multiverse. So it connects to all places at all times. An infinite number of portals exist within Sigil, each one tied to a specific key. Once you're there, finding the Hall of Records would be easier than finding your way to the city.
Right.
Without a key, your only option would be to climb an infinitely tall spire in the Beastlands, where magic does not function.
That doesn't sound fun.
that's okay with me because I don't know any magic.
I don't like it.
Oh, that's right. You're a cat.
What does that have to do with anything?
I don't know. I feel like a cat would like to climb something infinitely tall.
Yeah.
Yes, it's the no
Right up.
magic. It's the no magic. That, and I mean, I guess if I'm climbing, I'm holding on to something. As long as we're not flying, we're good.
I
I
only
can do
know
the climbing.
I love your.
I know
like,
that method in theory. I don't believe it has ever actually been achieved.
Interesting.
What, baby?
I want to try and climb it.
Well,
Yes.
want
let's
the
put that
challenge.
as let's put that as option C.
Option C.
Option B is one of us just dies. No big deal there.
Why is that option
Why is that
B?
option B?
Why is that higher? What the
Well,
fuck?
what else? I
Would
think
you
that
like
sounds.
to die?
Do you know
I
Warren's
would-
athletic score? He's not climbing an infinite spire.
If you attempt to make me climb an infinite, and if I climb 20 feet, there's a chance I will die.
Oh, that's sad. We gotta get you climbing lessons.
Yeah, legit.
I got
You
you.
a rogue.
While we're here in Candlekeep, I'm gonna get some calisthenics books.
Candlesticks.
Those exist.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I might need some. Okay, now that I've been shamed.
Yeah, as you
I'm a
should.
Could you even climb a tree? Is that something you're capable of doing? Wait, no, didn't you fail at climbing that fence that one time?
He did.
Fence is much different than a tree.
No,
I think
Jess,
it's
that
easier to
was
climb
you.
a fence than a tree.
You failed the fence at first, and then you tried again.
Yeah, but I've done so many good times on every other fence. That one fence doesn't. My
Okay.
foot got
Flashback to
caught.
session 2, the lost episode.
Yeah, the one fence where I jumped over it perfectly, and like,
Just a curiosity, Nick, do you know what our episode count is
in total or what we're at right now?
in total?
We have actually. Hold on.
Don't worry about it if you don't know. But
Oh no, I can bring it up, but you guys keep going. So.
Okay, yeah. So dying is a B because climbing is gonna end up that way anyways. So I think the Hall of Records is gonna be our A game here. So in that respect, we're in the biggest repository of knowledge in the world. There's got to be some clues here, I would imagine, on how to get there.
I have never been to Sigil. I've heard good things.
Probably got good food.
Ooh, I'm up for the food. And also, by the way, quick interjection: 122 videos.
Damn.
Yeah.
So, where does that leave us? Do you have additional questions?
Yeah. Who should we talk to about finding a gate key?
Your accent. You're from Waterdeep.
I am.
I would, if you know the Blackstaff, she would be likely to have one. I believe Kelvin, previous Blackstaff, had visited Sigil on occasion.
Okay. Don't know them personally, but we have some connections. Maybe something could be done there. Yeah.
I'm not certain she has one, but I think her late husband did.
Well, it sounds like a good lead. It sounds like if anyone in Waterdeep would know, it would probably be them. Or the Open Lord herself, perhaps. I guess actually we should ask some more questions then before we wrap up here if you've got more time. Once we have this devil summoned and we've got an hour to pester them, what does it usually take to buy one soul back? Are we talking like gold coins, or what exactly are they looking for?
Devils have no need for gold. It's virtually worthless in the Hells.
Right. So we need some sort of currency. It's not souls, Vial.
What is more valuable than a soul?
Bug.
To a devil, there's very little more valuable than a soul. They are the literal fuel for the blood war.
How about skincare products?
Valid.
Lifetime supply of muscle milk for the entire abyss.
Some Garnier fructose or whatever it's called.
Fructose?
Fructose?
Fructose.
I said fructose. Oh god.
Well, there's got to be something because we don't really have any other additional souls to barter.
If the devil is willing to let you buy out the deal, I'm sure he will tell you how to do it.
That doesn't sound promising.
All devils want things. It's in their nature to want.
Is there any chance he just wants a hug?
Unlikely. Very unlikely.
He's probably pretty lonely. Who's ever hugged a devil?
Yeah, damn. I was gonna say maybe we should just give him a hug. I know that would work with me.
You're not a devil.
Yeah. Apparently, Drumstick's just an easy buy, one way or another.
What? I mean, you're not
Are we
wrong.
surprised?
At this
Are you
point,
sure that's not what you sold your soul for in the first place?
a hug?
You just said it
Listen,
would work on you.
Listen, I'm easy, but I'm not that easy, okay? I have
Just
some
saying.
standards.
Not sure you're not.
Alright. Do you have more? I do have research I need to get back to.
I suppose we're done here. You've been very helpful. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for the information.
Excellent. It was wonderful speaking to you. Miss Blaze, I wish you luck in finding out what you are.
What are you?
I thought I knew what I was. God, I didn't think this place was gonna give me an existential crisis. I think that was supposed to be Drumstick's job while we were here, but apparently now it's me.
I know. We're just leaning into it at this point.
So at the end of the interview period, he packs up his notebook and shuffles out the door. Now, we haven't heard much from Vielle, Lestara, or Ophelia yet tonight. So let's start with Ophelia. What's your greatest topic of interest right now?
I think while we're here with the books, I'd like to learn a little bit more, more destructive magic, as opposed to the cleric-y stuff.
Destructive as in...
Like, offensive spells.
Okay. How would you go about that? Your spells are given to you by a direct link to Kelmvor. And there are destructive spells on your option list. Flame Strike is a really good one.
Yeah.
But more destructive magic. When you ask one of the escort acolytes about that, he tells you that destructive magic is restricted. Only true friends of the library, proven allies, would have access to that. You would need someone to vouch for you to achieve that.
Well, I certainly can't ask the church.
We can have a conversation later about different spells on your list that you might want to look at, because you truly have access to all of them.
Okay.
We'll take care of that after streams, because that's just a mechanics question.
Okay.
What about Vielle? What do you have on your interest list right now? You were searching for architectural books last we sessioned.
Yeah, and that got me nowhere. So, I guess I have no idea. I don't know. I give up.
The escort acolyte that was assisting you, the one who retrieves books, what is it you seek? If I know what you seek, I can help you find it.
I want a visual on famous teleportation circles.
there are thousands of teleportation circles. All of the great cities have at least one.
Even here.
Teleportation into Candlekeep is expressly forbidden.
Well, you said every city has one, so clearly you're not correct.
Candlekeep is not a city.
Touche.
It's an overgrown library.
It's a college
He
campus made
looks
up
like
of
you.
one library.
When you say that, he just looks like you kicked a kitten.
Yeah, you can escort her out. We don't need her anymore. No, I'm just kidding.
Honestly.
Wow. Such a loyalty.
We have no loyalty to her.
Clearly.
Your interest in teleportation, is that your specialty of magic?
Said yes.
If
Are
it,
you frozen? I'm like, what?
I have an idea. There's a book which contains some of the histories of Candlekeep. Times where the defenses have been breached. It's not a common tome, but I can get you access to it.
Okay.
It is not a tome we can bring here to one of the reading rooms. I would have to take you to it.
Okay. I'm not eager. That sounds nice.
He escorts you out of the reading room, out of the necessarium, and
I'm going to be tortured.
to a private study room. He asks you to wait here and returns about 15 minutes later. He has 3 other acolytes with him. He then leads you to those big emerald doors at the other side of the court of air.
Mew.
G. Narrator dialogue.
Oh my god.
G. Narrator dialogue.
What?
Didn't mean you do.
Mew! The computer's talking to me now.
Oh no, is it have the on-screen dialogues?
Exiting narrator.
Okay.
Also, Nick, I just saw your comment here in chat. Beelzebub's actually one of the lords of hell. You would have recognized him.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, he's a giant fly.
I'm getting my facts mixed up.
So, Roz, we good now?
Yes.
Okay.
Until Derek finds out it's on.
So yeah, the group of acolytes escorts you through the Emerald Gate at the end of the Court of Air. You have not been through here before. None of the group has.
Am I being yeeted out?
No, you're going farther in.
Ooh.
Yeah, everything you see on the other side of those doors is kind of like organized chaos. Like, we used to roommate together. You know what my desk looked like? It was like that. There's just towers of completely different construction types next to each other. Bridges connecting the various locations. Takes you to a tower that looks like a giant tree. Just grown straight up out of the ground with a staircase leading up the front and a door. Opening the door, everything inside is uncarved wood. The locations look like they were specifically grown into the shapes that they are in right now.
Witchcraft.
Druidcraft. Takes you to a chamber inside that tower, and brings out a thick tome. The pages are actually sheets of mithril linked together with chains, not paper. And he casts a spell on the book to unlock it. And opens it to you. Now, on two of the other acolytes stand behind you. The other two are on the far side of the table. All eyes are on you.
Okay.
Your tome.
Am I allowed to touch the page, or do I have to mage hand it? Like, I feel like I shouldn't like breathe on it.
The acolytes have an extreme reverence for books in general. Unique tomes are even more so treasured. So, how about you give me an investigation check as windows fly around?
Ooh, yes. 19 plus 5.
Okay. You do a quick scan through the book, looking for something that interests you, something that catches your attention. And you do catch something that you recognize. There's a reference to a wizard that was found in the keep, in Candlekeep, that was not granted access. And they don't list his name. They only list him as the headmaster of Diemercore. Now, Diemercore is a location you've heard of. It's a wizard academy deep in Undermountain. Allegedly, it is a teaching apprentices for Hallister the Mad. Undermountain is the location that surrounds Skullport. This massive, multi-layered mega dungeon underneath Waterdeep.
We're going to Candy Mountain.
Just don't end up like Drumstij did.
Yeah, that's where you got disseminated.
Yeah,
Jesus.
that's fair.
On level 2.
Huh.
Okay.
How's
the wall?
Diemercore is somewhere deeper in Undermountain. You know of it as a legend and a myth. You're fairly certain it exists, but the details on it are hazy for you. Scanning through the rest of the book, it's all very interesting, fascinating reading. But none of it is something that you can make a connection with. But whichever wizard that was that found his way into Candlekeep, he had the way.
Interesting. Okay. I'm gonna, I don't know, thank them. And like, leave.
Yeah, the escort acolyte relocks the book, and escorts you back through the Emerald Gate into the Court of Air.
Thank you. It was perfect.
Then the camera shifts to Lestara. So, what is your interest at the moment?
Right now, it's probably learning how to go into the shadow plane at will.
Okay.
So I know
Last week we talked about locations that have connection to the shadow plane where gates exist. Areas of extreme tragedy and sorrow. That type of location could get you there if you're in that location. Otherwise, you would need... How should we do this? Lestara stories are always the most difficult because I can't seem to prepare for them very well. In the Necessarium, next research tome that's provided to you, it's on the nature of the Shadowfell. I think we might have discussed this last week, so stop me if I'm repeating myself.
Yeah, we touched upon.
Yeah, the Raven Queen created it as a fusion of two previous planes. Okay, so we already have that delivered. There's another reference. An entire city that was shifted into the Shadowfell. Not just any city, it was a Netherese city. They're one of the ancient empires that existed millennia ago. They had great and tremendous magic. They used magic in a way that defied conventional methods. Outside, not connecting to the weave like all other spells do, they connected differently. One of their members, one of their great wizards, Carpe, was determined to take full and total control of magic. And he created this great spell to seize magic from Mystra, goddess of magic. What he did not consider is then that the instant that he took control of all magic would short out for a moment. And there would be no magic for just an instant. Which may not have been a problem had not all of the great Netherese cities been floating cities. This led to the instant annihilation of most of the Netherese Empire. One of their cities, however, had a very quick-thinking shadow mage available. And he shifted the entire city into the Shadowfell, where they remained for centuries. They stayed there for so long that the essence of shadow infused them completely. They ceased being human and started to be something more shadow than mortal. Approximately 50 years ago or so, this city returned in the air above Mithranor, a great elven capital far to the east of here in the Cormanthor Forest. for those of you who are in the Sunday night game, this happens after that game exists. Timeline difficulties. So when this city returned, they had all the great magics of Netheril at their disposal, and proceeded to try to take over Sembia, the nation that was closest to where they arrived. A lot of drama happened in that, and they eventually were stopped. Great series of novels on that one if you want to track them down. But the Netherese almost certainly had this ability to, if they had the ability to shift an entire city, they could shift individuals. Now they're several millennia out of their own time right now, but Netherese artifacts and treasures are still out there. That's the information in the next tome you were given.
Okay.
Does that lead your research in another direction?
Currently, not right now. Process what I've done.
So let's cut to a scene where you're all in the same place again, in the research room of the Necessarium. You've all learned things today. You've used. This is near the end of the day. You've used 2 of the total of 10 days of your stay in Candlekeep so far. You're allowed 10 days per year to research here. So.
Well, time to go home. No, I'm just kidding.
I just want to give you the opportunity to discuss amongst yourselves what you'd like to do now.
Well, I'm not sure how much more information we can get directly on Drumstij's problem. We have some pretty strong leads. We need the contract and we need the devil before we can really move on any further. So that, I think, is what we're going to have to do after we're done here, which means a trip back
Does it
home.
have to be 10 days all at once?
No, 10 days per year.
Okay.
Right, so we don't need to blow them all at once.
I'm interpreting that anyway.
Oh, but come on, let's just do that because
Hey, for
what?
Kevin once.
Yeah.
Think I need to commune with my patron. Try, because I don't know that I've done that before outside of the church. And even in the church, I think it's more vaguely than actually doing it. So, we're going to try and figure that one out.
Who exactly is your patron, Blaze? Have you ever talked about that with us? Do you know?
Never explicitly said, but I'm pretty sure it's been rather obvious.
You might not have said it, but I don't think you've done anything to hide it either.
Yeah, no, I've never hid it.
It's me.
I was like, I mean, it's not like I hang around the Church of Saloon at all.
Well, is it literally Saloon, like the
As
goddess
far as I
directly?
know.
Or is it someone in their hierarchy,
Or is it
however the
Coop?
gods work?
Or is
I
it
don't know.
Hatchback?
As far as I know, it's actually Saloon. This other thing the guy was talking about being a celestial, I don't know what the fuck that's about. That's news to me. Learning shit.
You're a star person.
You do recall back in Long Saddle, when you were in the Wizard's Sanctum there was a circle that you couldn't get out of once you were in it. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that. That's confusing. I thought that was normal, but apparently it's a not normal experience. So does that mean if it had been anybody else, any of the rest of you would have been fine?
They would walk right through it.
Fuck, I'm mad. I'm mad. What?
Okay. Well, I mean, do you even know how to commune with your patron?
No.
Give me a religion
Maybe?
check.
I don't even have my character sheet up. Give me like 2 seconds.
I can check for you.
I'm just gonna use
you're-
the dice roller. I'm too
you're,
lazy.
oh, okay. Your religion's
And
+3.
Good. Hello. That's athletics. 10.
You know it's possible. You haven't looked
Yeah.
into it before.
No, I guess I should look into that. I'm sure there's books. I'm
There's more than
sure.
a few books here. Yeah.
Yeah. Typically, I would just go to the Church of Saloon and ask, but that's not an option right now. Clearly.
Okay. Well, yeah. Hopefully that's something else you can do on your trip.
'Cause I don't know.
What about this shadow dragon thing that's in Waterdeep? Have we learned anything in that avenue?
Did we?
I don't think you've asked about that so far.
Nope. Just learned about
That was Lestara's job.
No, we were told.
That was your job, Lestara. You're the shadowy one. It's
Yeah,
your
but
job.
I got distracted by more shadows.
Okay. Well, I mean, you've been looking into this shadow plane. Something came out of it. That I mean, I'm going to assume a big magical circle isn't going to work for a shadow dragon. It would have to be a big circle.
Actually, would that work? Also,
Checking.
now I have a question. Could I trap myself in my own magic circle by accident?
Yes, but you could. But because it's your circle, you could
Shit.
dispel it.
Oh my god, please trap yourself, please.
That's gonna be a thing that happens by accident now.
We're just
I'm
gonna
gonna
wake
put it
up
down
one
and I'm gonna
morning.
walk through it and then go, fuck.
She's gonna be in the corner sobbing. I can't get out.
Please.
Magic circle.
Give it up. One or more of the following types of creatures, celestials and elementals, fae, fiends, or undead. The circle affects creature in chosen types of following ways. Can't willingly enter their circle by non-magical means. If the creature tries to use
A
teleportation,
water dragon is not a celestial, elemental, fae, fiend, or undead.
cry.
So we need a better solution, but there's got to be some way to send something home, unless it started here. I don't know. There's got to be some useful information out there somewhere. I mean, it's not really why we came here, but while we're here, we're heading back home.
You
And-
have the dragon's name, correct?
Do we? I think we do.
Sandy.
I would check my notes, but again, I'm not home, so.
I'm pretty sure you have its name. Dragons are a topic of research for a lot of people. So if you have a name, that's something to work with. And that's a biography I'd want to go over before I explain that one.
Fair.
So we'd save that question for next week.
Yeah, I think that's, if we have the dragon's name, that's something we should definitely look into. It would be helpful, I think.
So in the interest of helping me prepare for next session, what are your interests?
Communing with patrons.
Druidcraft, aka turning into birds.
AKA getting trashed off your ass and turning into birds.
Yes. Oh my god.
I'm just
yes.
gonna. I feel like all druids need to be drunk now. I want to make a drunk druid character.
So hold on. What if? Fun fact. What if you tried communicating with your patron, and instead the patron started talking to me?
I got a couple of ideas on communing with a patron. I just want to finalize those a little bit before we go into detail. What's up, Mia?
She was staring at you again for a while.
No, that covers Blaze. What about the rest of you?
We should get a biography of that dragon if it exists. Something.
I second that notion.
And then privately, not in front of the rest of the group, Warren's gonna look up some like rock climbing manuals, calisthenics program, something to get him in shape a little bit. He's got to work off his gut.
Warren, I
No one
want to
else
join
doesn't
you
know
in
about
that
that,
to that expedition to find more information on the dragons. So
Okay.
I mean, Drumstick would be an excellent personal trainer.
bro, you need some. Yeah, come on.
Muscle milk shots.
I don't know if I'm ready for that yet.
Are you not ready for the Drumstick program?
No. They got to start on the ground floor.
Yeah.
Yeah, like topics like that, like skills, professional knowledge, things like that, extremely easy to find here.
Yeah, something so I don't embarrass myself next time we need to climb a tree or a fence would be nice, I guess.
You're gonna read a book about climbing a tree?
I mean, hey.
Just go fucking climb a tree.
There's got to be climbing
Ravenclaw.
out there,
Okay.
you know.
Useless.
Something, a
Just
book on
do
like
it.
good stretches to do before you start climbing. You know.
Oh my god, Drumstick, just throw him into a fucking tree and let him
Okay,
figure out how to
alright.
get down.
Like
Come on, bro.
That's
I'm gonna pick you up. I'm gonna
Are there
pick you
any
up.
trees here?
some nutritional guides, you know.
Vielle, is there a tree
Getting
here?
in.
Vielle, please. I need to throw him.
Honestly, we're just gonna throw Warren into a tree and leave him to get down on his own.
Can I document that for my next article?
No.
Sure.
No.
Yeah.
No. This is why I'm looking up the books in private, because I can't trust the rest of them yet.
Vielle, are you satisfied with the information you've collected? Or would you like additional research?
I mean, I may try to find the easy way, see if it's documented somewhere, like who this guy is, headmasters of said place, and whatnot.
Okay.
Maps, easy ways in, things like that. I like easy ways. Teleportation circles. Yeah.
Alright. DM record is something you can research. Under Mountain is something you could research.
Mm-hmm.
Alistair the Mad is something you could research.
Yeah,
Those
if
are all-
you've been following the gossip on our group, you probably heard of the fact that we went down there and then came back.
Absolutely, you know that they went into Under Mountain.
Are you planning on going back?
Maybe.
It's risky.
I may want to assist you on this journey.
What do you do again?
I'm awesome.
She gets in everyone's business.
What do you do again? Oh my god.
You saw the fight with the bandits on the road. You saw her in action and know that she can throw down some arcane effects that are serious.
Let's.
I'm starting to be hurt.
I mean, the other dragon. There's 2 dragons I need to find. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Two?
The one that Lady Alathane asked me to find in Under
There's
Mountain.
like a bronze dragon Alistair or something.
Something like that.
Oh yeah.
Does
that
Kevin
one.
not remember that?
Come on.
Those questions will get answered next week.
Oh my god.
Okay. Oh no. Oh fucking no.
Yeah, there's. I thought you had made a connection that you did not. So those questions will get answered next week.
Oh, okay. Wait, are the 2 dragons one dragon? Dun dun dun.
Yeah, like I want to double check that biography before we go into detail on it.
I mean, we have pressing issues like Drumstick's soul, but there's still
Oh no, don't worry about it.
some.
Just put that on the back burner. We're gonna,
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
There's still some loose ends down in Undermountain.
We do have quite a few loose ends back in our place of living. But,
Vale, you haven't told the group where you live, have you?
Where do I live?
We talked about that before last week's session. You have a well-protected home in Skullport.
I know that
Oh.
now.
How do you know that?
Well, I'm not telling you that I know that. But I mean, Manchun told me. He was in a room where he couldn't lie, and it didn't surprise me at all.
Same.
So am I supposed to be like inviting these bitches in or something?
Skullport is currently fairly lawless. The Xanathar Guild is in control of Skullport, and they're not interested in keeping law at all. So it's very Wild West out beyond the frontier as far as things go. No one would stop you from bringing them in.
But would they be able to return to my place, or do only I have that skill at this time?
You can teleport to the circle in your home, and then from there, get them out of your home.
Okay.
So yes, you could arrange for all of that if you
I
want.
just don't want them teleporting into my fucking living room whenever they want. You know?
Oh no, you can conceal the circle enough that they wouldn't be able to instantly copy it and get the address if you're casting the spell.
My headset. It's in the trash.
Because Mio put it in the trash.
Why would Mio do that to my stuff?
Because you deserve it.
Yeah, you
Mio's
kinda do
an
deserve
asshole.
Hey, what the fuck?
it.
Definitely your cat.
Yeah.
Ew, what the
She loves
fuck?
Mama. Yeah, so y'all want to come to my house?
Hang out with the cat.
Yeah.
I'll come to your house and steal your cats.
Yeah. I've been to your house. I will steal your cats.
Yeah, from Skullport, you know how to get to Waterdeep as well.
I have teleporty.
Yeah.
I can zap us to Skullport and then zap us to Waterdeep because I got that good, you know? So.
Same.
Yeah, you don't have the spell memorized currently, but by tomorrow morning you could.
Yeah.
Well, that would certainly save us some travel time.
Yes.
Yeah.
See?
Solid
We're
way in.
friends. I've got bunk beds. It'll be great.
The bunk beds.
Yeah.
I will let you decorate the interior of your sanctum as you choose.
I don't even want to know why she has bunk beds, but all right.
Has bunk beds?
Because who
Okay,
doesn't want to
let's-
sleep on top bunk? Come on.
We'll jot that down as our exit strategy when we're done here. I figure we have another day or two of research, depending on what that turns up, and then maybe we can discuss what our next move is going to be.
Slumber party.
Oh boy, I can't wait.
Wow, that sarcasm was. Oh
We're gonna
boy.
be best friends. I can tell.
All right, so I think we've reached a pretty good conclusion point, unless you guys have more to discuss.
No, I'm not necessarily going to bring up the Manchun thing just yet. I figured that can wait until we're done with all the research stuff.
Yep, that's your knowledge. Share when you choose. You are the only one that has it.
Yeah, I figure
Oh.
once we're actually back in Waterdeep and have a moment, we can discuss that. I'm thinking, since I don't think we've actually ever met the Black Staff directly, any of us.
You absolutely know her by reputation,
Right, yeah.
and you'd probably recognize her. You may have seen her once or twice, but that's the celebrity in the street kind of meeting.
Right. What I'm right now, the plan I'm thinking of is to get, if we need to get a way to get to Sigil and the Hall of Records, we've at least got we've got a connection with Laryl, who will obviously be a good way to get an introduction.
Mhm.
But the other way we can get in the door is by clearing Manchun out of the city, which I'm assuming they're not too pleased with. So
Yeah, that would absolutely score you big points with the Lords of Waterdeep.
yeah, so that's my plan. Maybe we can trade removing Manchun for their assistance in getting to and maybe back from Sigil, because I'm assuming we're going to need an exit strategy as well.
Yeah.
But that can wait till we're back in Waterdeep.
All right. So this is good. We have a framework for next session. I think this is a good place to end for tonight. So between now and next week, we've got hopefully both our games running again next week. This is the first week we've run both games in a while. So Sunday nights I run Curse of the Azure Bonds, which is set in the Cormanthor Forest area in the Dale Lands, which we mentioned briefly today, and it's set about 150 years in time before this game. So that Shadowfell invasion hasn't happened yet in that game. But that's a fun one.
Maybe they'll be the ones to cause it. You never know.
Yeah, Rozzy, Jess, and Nick are all in that game, as well as Derek and Lauren. It's a fun group. Check into that one. Otherwise, Evil Sales Ass on Twitter is the best way to find me. I complain about work and, well, honestly, everything else that's going on in 2020. So let's go to Rozzy, who's always prepared for this.
I'm so awkward. Cinder Wizard, Twitter, and Instagram. I'm in The Last of Us recap heaven right now in preparation for the new launch. So you're not going to find me most places, but you can try anyway. Sky, since you're muted.
Yeah, why call me out like that? Hey, I'm Sky. You can find me on Twitter at FizzleWhistle or on pretty much any other social media. Yeah, I'm not really doing much. Just working remotely, slowly dying. But aren't we all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ain't that the truth?
Pass it on to Jess.
Hello. I'm
Hi.
Jess. Once again, we have another one of these. Every time somebody says my name, I feel like it needs to be an introduction instead of a goodbye. Where did this come from? The world may never know. You can find me at Sweet Ninetails on Twitter and Instagram. I was about to say again, you can find me here tomorrow night, but you cannot find me here tomorrow night. You can find none of us here tomorrow night. I don't know what day it is anymore. I don't know when exists, what existence is.
Tomorrow is Tuesday night, which would normally be my live table game that we haven't played since March because 2020.
Nobody can have a live table game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tomorrow for me is work. Because of course it is. I have nothing else to say because I have nothing else going on for literally the rest of the year. I'm slowly working on cosplay stuff as always. Except more slowly now because I have nothing to do for until possibly February. Who knows if Katsucon will be on or canceled though.
No deadlines.
I want Katsucon to happen so bad. I will be like
I'm sure someone out there is doing a online cosplay fashion
It's
show
not
of
the
some sort.
same.
It's not
I
the
know.
same.
It's
You
not
need
the
to get a
same.
camera guy or a girl.
We do have a camera person.
You need
Yeah.
them to have awful camera people so you can appreciate it.
Mm.
No, what I need to do is I need to go out somewhere and get like serious photos taken of one of my cosplays.
And then get drunk.
Yeah, and get trashed in cosplay because that's a fun experience, yo. Anyways, I'm gonna pass it off to Jen
Why would you do this to me?
because you deserve it.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
You can find me on Twitter at SummonerXI yelling at conservatives for being stupid. And that's about
Valid.
it.
It's a hobby.
Yeah. I'm gonna give it to Nick.
Hello, Blue Aura 94YT on Twitter, which I'm basically on there just still doing my thing. I've been a lot more active. And that's pretty much all I'm willing to kind of say on it unless something comes up. But you'll see it. Carpe Nerdus has definitely been a lot more active too. But yeah, other than that, you know what? Let's hit it off with Oliver.
I cannot be found on any social media platform.
I was waiting for an announcement. Like
Which
you're
means
like,
stop
hold on,
in.
guys, I have something here.
Dramatic announcement.
Oliver is stealth mode. That's fine.
Yeah.
You'll have to be an
I don't need
expert
it.
stalker to find him.
I mean, has Oliver mentioned his change of venue yet?
But,
Yes,
oh, no,
he
yeah.
did at the beginning.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Before, well, in my introduction, yeah.
Yeah.
But I should be back to normal environs next Monday.
Once he's done
Until
hiding the
then,
body.
yeah. Well, you know.
Once he's
Until
done
then,
building doors and porches.
I'm probably going to leave before that whole job is finished. The porch will be finished, but not the stairs. Anyways, you can find me in our Discord. The link is somewhere down below, regardless of where you're watching this. It should supposedly be down there. That's what they tell me. I'm not in
least-
charge of any of that stuff.
Although I'm not entirely sure it is, since Twitch decided to go randomly changing shit. Yeah, there it is.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Well, it may or may not be down there at the time that you are watching this.
Depending on Twitch
cross
is
your
being an
fingers.
asshole or not.
True, true.
Yeah. If
Nick,
it's
you
not
should
down there,
tweet out our Discord at some point.
Okay. Guys, keep a lookout. In late August, you'll see a tweet for our Discord.
Just schedule it now.
Yeah.
Scheduled tweet.
All right.
Pretty
I think we have achieved absolute silliness right now, so shut it down.
Alrighty, guys. Have a great night.
Have a good one.